Do the Panthers have any hope for the future?
I'm glad you led with that because it leads me right into my first point. I don't know if they have any future with this fucking jackass running the show over there in David Tepper. And you guys know me. Let me be clear. I don't like to be like insulting towards anybody or label people's mean names. But look, David Tepper's shown this year, in my opinion, he is in jackass territory. And especially with the nerve you have to know you could potentially be on video and to throw a drink on somebody. Let me be clear. I don't know the situation circumstance. Could the fan have been acting like a complete, absolute moron jackass himself and completely been like, quote unquote, deserving of that interaction? However you want to look at it. But my thing is, I don't ever look at things like that where it's like, no matter how much somebody's going to be an idiot or something like that, you have to be the guy in charge. You're the guy leading. You can't be the guy to retaliate and look like an idiot also.
Well, especially when you're a billionaire and the guy is paying for probably 200, 300 level seats type thing.
It's a terrible look. And it's more than just that. There's a lot of things. I think the arrogance he shows, there's a lot of things about David Tepper right now. If you're a Panthers fan too, this is not just me. This is I should want David Tepper in there as long as possible. Again, as a Saints fan, I should be endorsing Tepper forever. But I'm an honest guy.
Tepper forever.
Tepper forever. But the reality is, man, I think as long as you keep his ass in the building, which is that's the problem. Nobody can tell him to fuck off. He's got to tell himself to. So it's like, as long as he decides to keep himself in that building, I just don't really see the vision.
Nothing's going on with the receiving core. It's just a bad look.
Because this was the thing with David Tepper. Again, I'm not to interrupt, but you're going to cheese because we have to bring him back up. I want to remind everybody again, this jackass declined 2 first-round picks for Brian Burns,
who's not worth 2 first-round picks.
7 sacks this year, I think.
I mean, he's good, but he ain't.
That's
yeah. He's
what? Hey, help me out here, David. Help me understand. Get me in the mind of David Tepper. Apply pressure, Panthers fans.
Actually, I love David Tepper because he just gave the Chicago Bears the #1 overall pick, DJ Moore, another first round pick, and we have a second from you in 2025, which will probably be at the top of the round.
Bears hero.
Yeah, no. Bears hero Lovie Smith, and now Bears hero David Tepper. Build a fucking statue.
That is crazy.
CJ Beathard led the Jaguars to a win. They control their own destiny for the playoffs for the AFC South division title, but they do play the Titans, and I don't necessarily know if
that feels like a trap.
Yeah, it feels like a weird game. Kind of scared. Trevor Lawrence did not play. Don't know about next. So
that's what makes it worse.
So here's what I will say. Evan Ingram, I really liked last year. He's been having a great year. I think he's one of the most under talked about players this year. Evan Ingram has been a force for the Jaguars. Every game when they have receiving issues, Evan Ingram is never a problem. Evan Ingram has been consistent. Give props to him. Evan Ingram, you're a dog. Their defense, Trayvon Walker and Josh Allen, studs.
It's starting. The one thing that's silver lining this year, if you're a Jags fan, is at least you can look in the mirror and say, like, you know what? The Trayvon pick doesn't definitely not look as bad as it looked last year. It still doesn't look great when you see what Aiden's doing, but it definitely is like, you know what? We see what Trayvon can do, and he was definitely a top 15 player. There's no doubt about it. Top 15 player about it. Top 10, 15.
As long as he's a first round pick. I was thinking about saying
10. I'm like, but you know what? Yeah, he is a very electric and unique player, and at least you can look in the mirror and say that.
Travis Etienne had a good game. Yeah, no, I had this game on while I was watching the Bears game, and yeah, man, I was a little nervous. I'm not going to lie. But I was everyone was really nervous when CJ Beathard was playing, but I was like, Trevor's been playing like shit. Like, I would rather have someone who just comes in and game manages.
As of right now, yeah, no. And that's why I think next week against the Titans, though, CJ Beathard, if he's playing versus the Titans, that feels like a serious trap.
I think Trevor kind of has to play just because it's like, there's a chance you don't make the playoffs if the Texans win, you lose, and the Colts win. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, no, because if I'm not mistaken, I believe I think the Colts play the Texans next week, so that's a big thing too.
Yeah, it's all. I believe
it's all dependent on if the the Texans won and they
next week is all divisional games. Every game next week is the divisional game. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I just want to say, Panthers fans, keep pounding, man. Keep pounding.
Yeah, keep pounding the table for David Tepper. Just, I don't know. I don't even know. Just get David Tepper out of there.